my name is Steph. If you'd like to come on in, have a seat for some symbolic support or a little daily inspiration whenever this may find you. If you checked out the community page, there was a scroll and a layout, and we are going to scry said scroll and the layout. We're going to scry for shapes and symbols that may speak to our psyche and psychic senses. We'll possibly add on some more tarot and oracle, but maybe not. We'll just use what's there. And as you've heard, where Mr. Ghosty here is, we have GhostTube kicking for any audio additions from the afterlife that may further add to our auric adventures. Overall, please do receive a release freely. If you are new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome home. I'm so grateful for your time, attention, awareness, and your perspective and presence is powerful. Let's go. Here's the scroll. OG, the original way it was created or expressed out through me, and then in the shaman's palm layout. So if you want to take a moment while I open up, see what stands out to you, feel well to comment below, drop an emoji. Any interactions with the channel is appreciated. So when you're ready, taking a nice deep breath. Closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush.
It's bright.
Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. In the name and honor of anyone here at any time, thank you for being my muse, and may you meet a message with meaning. All right. Somebody is sticking the landing. You've been listening and sticking the landing. Cotton candy. Also maybe like a... I'm going to say chicken on a stick. I don't even know. Like, it kind of like a shish kebab. A shish kebab. A shish kebab. We'll call it that. There is this, I'm up here in the scroll.
Stupid.
Stop. There is this leaning forward kind of conversation. Like, you know, if two parents were talking, this is just my example, it could be you and your boss, whatever channel, personal, professional, corporate, creative, romantic, platonic, or a part of yourself, whatever the case is. There's a conversation, there's leaning forward. Because like parents are talking, but there's other smaller energies behind. You know, it's kind of like we have to say this, like, what are you getting the kids for Christmas? Oh, I got them da 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 da. You know, like there's just this kind of conversation. Okay. So, get my inky fingers out of here. Stop. You're so cheeky, because right in here, there is, do you see, like, first of all, I'm going to say it looks like, is it Cousin It from the Addams Family with all the hair? And in one of them, Addams Family or Addams Family Value.
What happened to me?
It might be the second one where he has a hat on. Okay, so that's one rabbit hole.
Be quiet.
And the leaning in, like there's some feistiness going on over here, but they'll deal with it. And it's like, this is, I think it's Cousin It, and these are more like Uncle Fester conversations, if I needed to give context of size in the way I'm seeing it. The other rabbit hole is, I had it when I was younger, and I used to see it at my parents' house at the time, is the...
Virgo.
Yeah, my mother is a Virgo. The man, the shadow man with the black hat, like that. I don't know if some of you are seeing things. I don't know what the lore is necessarily now, because I think it's something common, like a lot of people see. or in the sensitive world or intuitive world, like it's a thing, right? The man in the black hat. Maybe this is something you have dealt with when you were a child, or it's something your child is also seeing or sensing. And it's like then these parents have to have this conversation.
Sure.
I'm seeing the okay, thank you. Right in here. And I wandered over here to this 33 card, Maintaining Consciousness, in the Lucid Dreaming deck. I believe it's called Lucid Dreaming. Somebody has an ability to perceive, walk through, I think it might be in the sleep state first, but it's starting to be seen and felt during awake state about portals. Portals is here in the Cave of Ice, this lifting off like in the sleep state, dream yoga, awake, and maintaining consciousness. This could be something about lucid dreaming and lucid living, and we've talked about that before. But something's asking me to be more conscious about it, which is interesting. It's like I want to be in sleep, okay? I'm in sleep. Maybe this is what you're feeling. And I apologize if it's, I'm stuttering to get out of, to fall out of my face. I'm going to sleep and I have a dream and you become lucid in it. Okay, so that's pretty familiar to some degree, or maybe you're starting to practice with lucid dreaming.
It's not easy.
It's not easy to fall in love. And as I go through and I'm lucid, it's from that state of lucidity, I'm going through what would be the alternative states, like if there's alpha, beta, theta, gamma in the wake state, go through the portal, say I'm lucid dreaming, but I'm lucid, and then those states. Do you know what I'm saying? It's hard to linguistically place linearly because it's like the same, but it has a different feel if I'm conscious, subconscious, unconscious,
Abused.
preconscious, but in my dream state. I gotta breathe. I gotta breathe. I'm at a carnival. I'm at a carnival that someone is telling me my fortune. There is a loon, specifically a loon, the duck, if that symbol means anything to you. There's also an alligator and a pig. There's also something, I think it's a camel that's muzzled.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm getting okay. I'm right in here. Like I feel as though I am attempting. How do I say that without sounding insane in the membrane? I'm attempting to be alive. As I am crossing through this portal, a different dimension. I think they're accessed from like this carnival space. I'm not really sure, but it's towards the afterlife, if I may. This feels like I'm looking for a door to the afterlife. I want to talk to somebody specifically. I'm not sure if it's your guides. Could be a guide. Yeah. So I utilize
I
lucid
want one.
dreaming to lucid living, living lucidly in that dream. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I lift off. You might astral travel somewhere, but that's only the beginning. That's only the beginning. And it's like I can see this convergence. But I have to choose a door, or I choose to choose a door, different doors sometimes, but I'm getting familiar with which doors do what.
Foolish.
And now I'm meeting this fortune teller that is a guide, because that's what I'm looking for.
Fly.
Could be a loved one, but or that loved one is now working with your guide team. And it's almost like having this lens. There's all these lenses, and that's why it's hard for me to get it out of my face, but I feel like you understand what I'm saying, because it's, when you're like talking to somebody about a dream or a series of events, and you might have gone through a series of events astrally, lucidly, whatever, all these different states, alpha, gamma.
I'm inside it.
It's there's so much here, and there might have been some play, curiosity, or bravery just to say, and before I can start making really intelligent decisions, I have to just open a door and try. I have to try. And you have tried, and I feel like you've tried and tried and tried again. But it's like growing up, like being a teenager. Like, do you think of the things when you do when you're a teenager? I'm like, oy vey. Like, how? Right? How did I survive? How am I still here? That's what it kind of feels like. But it all served to this point of 22 and 33.
Die.
You might even be going through those reflections of your own growth in the different states, not only conscious, preconscious,
Singing.
subconscious, alpha, gamma, theta, lucid. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's all of these things all at once, and I come into this maintaining consciousness, and it's like I can see the gear shift go and this lens to change, but kind of in the moment. I'm seeing the Terminator as well, which I've seen like maybe once, just to be, hang out with my hubby, but I wouldn't choose that. But there's something like that. It's not necessarily mechanical. Here's the thing, though. I'm going to let you go. I won't take up too much of your time. There's a lighter in here. So it's like if somebody goes to light your smoke, or, offers you a light. I got to write that down. I feel like you're very, very mindful, those that you will accept a light from, or say, no, I'm good, thanks. You'll also, I'm seeing it in a concert, if I was to turn this the other way. It's like there's this whole landscape, there's this concert, and everyone sparks their lighter in honor of, in respect of, for those that have passed.
I'm not sure.
And transcended, and now they live in my dreams. And that's how that's the landscape in which I communicate with them, and I am actively trying to get better at that. And if that's the landscape that helps us merge to still communicate and connect, that's real. That's real. There's also one of those, I don't know if it's a pelican or a crane. There's also an old tree or like wooden house. Here's a creepy thing too, like with the man with the hat, now I'm seeing the hut type thing in the Blair Witch Project. Some of you might be working through nightmares. Again, it feels very reflective of real life decisions, real life just being density, right? You're walking, talking, 2 feet in a heartbeat expression of existence, the decisions you've made, the maps you've followed, created. It's like you can see them on a board with like points of reference that would also be sparks of light. And then it's like also superimposed within or holographically infused. There's also your sleep self, I'm going to call it for simplicity's sake. And going through different versions of possibly the same thing, working them through. I understand that I'm being very, very choppy with my words, and I apologize, but sorry, not sorry. It's almost like this is part of the process. This is part of you. I'm going to use the term perfecting, but perfection is not the right word, but we're here, it's fine. To perfect your process to communicate with the astral, the afterlife, whatever the case may be, and maintain a certain consciousness and awakeness when interacting with different beings, energies, releasing them of good and evil, even let's say knowing that there's value for you if you choose to take their light. And I don't mean like take their light, just like, somebody lights your smoke and you're like, thanks. And then that usually, I don't know if you're a smoker or toker, but if you've ever been in that area and somebody else lights your smoker in the smoking area, it's like those people have something in common, and you can get to know somebody around a water cooler, a smoking section. I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? Those are just my examples. You can tell where I hung out as a kid. And it's like you can just start up a conversation. It's like, oh, thanks for the light. And you're like, yeah, no problem. And you're like, so, what do you do for a living? It opens a door. It opens a door. Offering you the light opens the door, and who you offer a light to opens a door for them. But then it's like, when non-smokers hang out in a smoking area, it's weird, right? No judgment, it's weird. Get it. But it's weird. You're just like, no, I'm good, thanks. I'm just here for the secondhand smoke and the conversation, because it's like I'm so sorry if this is triggering to anybody, but it's such a great world for me to wander into because I understand it. And that's what it's like. You're like, who's this non-smoker over here? So here's the other thing with the smoke, because that non-smoker, just going to throw it out here as it's all up in here with the Hat Man, the Blair Witch thing. And then when it said, I can't remember what you said, but now I'm seeing those like Jinn eyes, Janaea, insert any word that feels good to you, because it's being the non-smoker in the smoking area, the smokeless smoke type thing, or the smokeless fire. But there is something standing here that's blowing through this energy that's trying to come into this landscape. There's also a dragon's egg. I also want to know, and looking at it from this way before I let you go, I promise I will, a kind of like with Stranger Things, like the upside down, there's this very clear where the ink didn't take through the middle. There's another masculine energy that is very, very helpful. It feels like a guy that's been with you since birth.
What date is it? Move over.
I'm going to leave with, yeah, see now my throat's going to get all funny. Before I head over to the flip side, and I will see you tomorrow for that, something about Professor X as well.
Willie.
And the X-Men. Willie. Hi, Willie. Specifically when he is, I think it's in the newer movies, forgive me, and he goes,
Sun.
sits in his chair, and like the whole dome of the room we see is like the people that he's connected to, but kind of like those lights going off. And just because you said son, I don't know if Willie, you are a son, or Willie has a son, whatever the case is. But again, just as I let you go, Professor
Cool.
X's son, I believe, is Legion. And that is an interesting show, and may help this story understanding unfold. I'm going to let you go. So much love for being here. I hope this did serve, inspire, educate, or entertain. Until next time, so much love.